by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Dustin Lynch. You don't have to listen to country music to know that life can be full of drama. Some of it you just can't control, like your girlfriend running out on you with your best friend. But there's some drama that you can skip.
Skip the drama that comes with not having your high school diploma or equivalency. Find free adult education classes near you and finish your diploma. Visit finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org.
You just need to take that first step and find free classes near you and start moving towards a brighter future and even your college degree.
Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Follow Bearcat Radio on Twitter with the handle @VHS Bearcat Radio and on Facebook by searching Bearcat Radio for the upcoming broadcast schedule and shows on the flagship stream of Virginia High School Athletics.
In 50 feet, turn left. Why are you driving so slowly?
After a few drinks, I'm taking it slow.
Well, you're not fooling the cop behind you.
What?
Get ready to pay in 0.1 miles.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Bearcat Radio is brought to you by State Line Motors. Visit State Line Motors on Euclid Avenue in Bristol.
Welcome back to Bearcat Sports Chat. We're now joined by Mr. Harper. Thank you for joining us. Mr. Harper's writing down a few talking points here for us. He's like a politician up here joining us.
Well, with all the changes we've had this spring in the weather, I have to keep notes or I don't know who's going where and when. So we're just trying to keep everything
straight. You're liable to lose your mind, aren't you, trying to keep up with the schedule?
Well, with 3 young kids, that's been gone a long time ago.
That's
so
true.
We're just trying to keep people in the right place.
We're trying to be roasting Mark, not yourself, you know.
Well, I can take it. You know, I've always been pretty hard on Mark, you know. The first time I met him, he was very respectful and nice, and I thought, man, what a team. And you've remained that way. And then, you know, we finally give you our Under Armour stuff comes in, and thought I was hooking you guys up with plenty of beer. And the first thing he says is, what's wrong with the side of it over here? And, like, I just...
Listen, I didn't come up with that. Someone else told me to say that to you to see what you'd say.
Miss Piedmont.
Yeah, Miss Piedmont did.
Yeah, but, you know, I thought you would be grateful enough.
I was very thankful. I put it in my closet. I wore the polo that day.
You give the man $200 and some worth of apparel, and he complains about what it's made of.
I just thought the polo you had on was nice, and I wondered when I could get one of those.
Never satisfied. You know, it's kind of like dealing with my own kids sometimes. I mean, you know, you give them something, they want something else, and you know, I'd expect more out of.
I do too.
But
Gosh.
you know, he is a Tennessee Volunteer fan, though. So
you would think he would be able to settle for things they do every year. But let's go ahead and run through the spring sports real quick. You don't have to go into too much detail, but.
Well, I forgot my phone, so I was going to hopefully have an update. But boys soccer should be playing Graham at Richlands right now, but I don't have an update. But I see that our technology expert over there and Mr. Virginia High. Jacob Knight is working on trying to obtain that information. Girls soccer is playing Lebanon at Lebanon Middle at 7:30 this evening in the district quarterfinal game. Our softball team will host. We thought it was going to be Marion, but after a last-minute change, we are actually hosting Graham tomorrow in the first round of the softball tournament. Of course, you covered baseball pretty well here with Coach Daniels, and we're certainly excited about that. And then we have a couple of other guests getting ready to come on, Miss Haley Patel and Hannah Knight, our girls doubles team, who are in the region semifinals, and they will play Wednesday at Wise Central against Gate City. And then our boys team was supposed to play Grayson County tonight in the what would have been the region quarterfinals, and that game got canceled because of the storm that rolled through. So they will actually play Thursday morning at 10 o'clock, which is right in the middle of graduation practice for one of our senior boys tennis players. But, I mean, I guess that just shows the overall depth of our programs. You know, we certainly celebrate and see a lot of stuff that goes on, but, you know, this spring we've had, we've kind of continued that success. And who knows what the limit is. I mean, we could have several individual champions, a couple of team champions. I mean, I think No, I think baseball, we're always in it. Softball has pretty much assured themselves of a regional seed, even though that the district tournament has not started yet. Looking at the point system, softball will probably be the number 4 seed in the region, which means they'll travel to the Mountain 7 champion on Memorial Day. So, I mean, it's just an exciting time as always. I just had Mr. Har in all of, even though I gave him a hard time, just updated me with the score he slid in front of me. It looks like our boys are struggling now.
4-0 with 8 minutes left. Yeah.
So, but that game really means that's only seeding for the district regular season district champion. So, I would say if I were a betting man that we will probably see Graham in boys soccer a few more times before the year's out. But it's been a strange spring with all the rain. When we look at the schedule on the online app, there have been more changes, I think, to the schedule than what they originally had on there.
I would say that, though, but it seemed yesterday, or the last baseball game we did on Saturday, was the first time it's rained during a game that we've broadcast.
Right.
So that's odd.
It really
a couple
is.
Football games, right? Maybe?
I'm talking about baseball.
Oh, okay.
The spring, for all the rain that we've had, it's been. So I guess maybe we should have just had you guys to broadcast more games, and that would have kept the weather good.
We
for
could
us.
have went around to every site. We need to create a Bearcat Radio too. Like ESPN, have our own second channel.
On dodgeball, Bearcat Radio Ocho, and have a
Bearcat Radio 3.
Yeah, there you go. So, but it's been a great spring, and this is certainly an exciting time of year for our seniors who have pretty much finished most of them have finished all their requirements and just kind of waiting for graduation practice and graduation Friday night. But even the success, we were talking about girls tennis a second ago, and they still are not listening to me, but I'm trying to talk about it at that table over there. Coach Kimbler has done a great job building the program, and it's gotten a little bit better. We've taken steps every year, and it was amazing because Miss Knight texted me, said, "Hey, when's the next Bearcat Radio?" I said, "It's funny that you ask. It's tomorrow at 6:00. And she said, "Well, Hannah and Haley want to be on it." I said, "Okay."
I would say volunteered.
I know that. So
wow.
I don't know if I've ever had that happen, and I think Haley is all about it. She is replacing Jacob Knight as the state FBLA president, and I'll talk about Jacob in a minute. But so I don't want to leave him out, especially since he's sitting here. But it's very uncommon that the same school has back-to-back state presidents in the FBLA, Future Business Leaders of America chapter. So I think that's a credit to the job Jacob's done and the job that Haley will do. But
we've got a pipeline of FBLA, too.
Well, we have a great program. Miss Leonard does a great job. But, we have great kids. And, we talk about athletics a lot in our realm. But, I mean, that's a tribute to Virginia High School and the type of kids that we have. But talking about Jacob for a minute, he'll be one of those people that you never really see him in front of the scenes with athletics, but he's done everything that can be done. He has filmed games. You guys know from boys basketball, he runs the clock for soccer through some very late nights.
Social media
updates, technology, and helping get things done with certificates. And he will be truly missed. And when you talk a lot about what it means to be a Bearcat, Jacob certainly epitomizes that, and I certainly appreciate everything that he's done, and haven't had an opportunity to truly tell him that, but I thought this was a great venue.
It's even better here because you can go back and listen to it over and over again.
That's right. And so if I say something bad about you, then you can go say, hey, it was nice to me. But no, Jacob will be really missed, and certainly appreciate everything that he's done. And from day one, he's been such a huge help to all of our programs, and certainly appreciative of everything, and we'll miss him greatly.
I know he's helped us set up a lot for basketball, so it was really we thank him for helping us
I
with
even
that.
gave him a project. Not, sometimes an idea pops into my head that I don't think all the way through. And so one of our goals in the next couple of years is to develop a Virginia High Hall of Fame. And I was telling him, I said, I'd love for it to be like all on touch screen, so we don't have a ton of space in the brick hallway.
Like a virtual hall.
Right. But so if you come in and find the person's name, then it would have. So within about 2 or 3 days, he come back and said, you need to go to this website, and they will do all that. And son of a gun, if I didn't look it up, and I was like, that's exactly what I'm looking for. I've got to figure out a way to fund that, but
we'll have a simulator where you can broadcast a game with Mark and I.
Well, it was just amazing that, and so we're certainly very lucky to have Jacob with us, and he's been a great help to the athletic program. But I'm really excited for the next segment when we get to embarrass his sister, because she was all about it early, and now I think she's trying to backpedal. So we got to make sure she doesn't run out the door before we do this interview.
But to keep a security around.
Sure.
So we're very good candidates for the Hall of Fame. I feel like we're very good candidates for it.
I think it would be so hard. It would be important to have a committee of, people that have been here a long time. Yeah, I think it has unlimited potential.
Wow.
And maybe you guys could go in as contributors under the media. The Baseball Hall of Fame has the Frick Award.
Yeah,
we could create.
We could give out an award,
the Horror Award, or something like
That'd
that.
Be so cool.
We can't give up
so
credit.
Cool.
That would be cool
for establishing Bearcat Radio. But that's kind of one of those things that are down the road. But I think it would be really neat, because if you look at our proud history of Virginia High School, there are a lot of people that should and could be recognized in that virtual type format, and so I'm excited. But like I said, that's probably a year or two away.
I've got some ideas already, just people that are graduating this year that we could throw into the Hall of Fame.
Sure.
But let's go ahead and take a look at a year in review. We said we were going to sort of use this show as a recap of all the 8 months, really, that we've done the sport, that we've had Bearcat Radio since September 1st. It's been a heck of a run. We've had a run in every sport, and hopefully we got another one here. Either baseball or softball can make a run, but we had football do what they did and then host their first game since 2002.
Right.
And then we had the girls make it to the state semifinal for the first time since, I think, 2007.
Something like that,
or a little bit before that.
Right.
And now baseball making another run. So.
Right. And in the last few years, I'm excited because every year, boys soccer has had a lot of success as well. And, they graduate like one of the main players, and they've just been able to reload. And, of course, Lane Carroll with his supporting staff this year, I would not be surprised if they jumped right into the thick of it, even though they are coming up a little bit short today probably. In points-wise, they are still as the number one seed for the region right now. So regardless of what happens today. But, yeah, it's been – the fact that we even have Bearcat Radio, that Buffalo Wild Wings has been nice enough to host us, I think you guys have set the tone. And we've talked about it, what is the saying? Imitation is the greatest form of flattery. You helped our neighbors on Battle Hill get started with their radio network. And certainly, though, I take that, we joked a little bit about that, Dylan, but I think that's a tribute to what we started and what you guys have done and the work and time that you all put into it, and being able to recognize kids and just be able to hang out. this is a lot of fun. It's good to get back together here. It's hard to believe it's been 8 months, and we'll be doing our preseason fall show before you know it. But it's been a great year for the Bearcats, and like you said, you hit on so many. I had some time traveling the other day and was able to go back and listen to some of the broadcast and relive some, and that's the really cool thing about this setup is, even though I did say a few nice things about Jacob, he'll be able to go back and listen to that, and so it's been great for our kids, it's been great for our coaches, it's been great for our program, but that's really why when you approached Dr. Perrigan with the idea, I saw a lot of potential, but wasn't really sure how it would work out, and it's far exceeded expectation. And
it's one of those things you got to sort of figure out.
Right, and we've certainly been, and just like today's show, not our normal level, but we figured if all we were going to do was talk bad about Mark the whole time, that would be pretty easy to get people around.
We don't need a lot of.
So I think Coach Christ is going to try to join us in a little bit. He was going to try to get here right towards the end of the show. Coach Timmons came in. So, I think that's a tribute to, I think Coach Johnson's going to try to come back. So that's a kind of a tribute to what what you guys have done and what you've meant to Virginia High School and Bearcats. You certainly have people that I think have been to everything that you guys have done, and